Woza. Talking Bafana, proudly powered by Soccer Beat. Hanging out with Tsepo Masilela and Mayambela. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a South African football fan. What a time to be a Bafana Bafana fan. We're going to talk about something very exciting because, first of all, at this time of qualifiers for AFCON or World Cup, we'd be talking about calculators. We'd be talking about playoffs, hoping for results somewhere else. Maybe we're going to be the best third place, but none of that mattered for our qualification to AFCON. Hugo Broos has got an interesting headache, a very different headache to many times before. He has a big choice to make, a choice about 23 players that he's going to take to AFCON. 23 players. He can take up to 27 depending on budget because in 2023 he took only 24. He didn't take the standby players because of budget. Maybe this time he might extend. But Tsepo Masilela and Mayambela are going to help me go through the discussion about who's guaranteed to be in the squad, who is maybe undecided, who can Broos Warrior, who can be worried, or who's Broos not decided on. We also have to talk about that particular place that called number 10. Who's going to be our mainstay, our main creative spark for Bafana Bafana going into this AFCON? Mark Tsepo, we've just crossed 80,000. Thank you to the subscribers of Soccer Beat, to the Soccer Beat family. We are chasing 100,000 now, bafethu. Siyabavuyela, siyabulela, enkosi kakhulu. Hit that subscribe button, like this video. Let us know you are around, listening to Mark and Tsepo and myself discussing Bafana. Of course, share with your friends who might not be part of the family and let them know it's fun to be here, to listen to these legends discuss the nation's pride right now, Bafana Bafana. Mark, Tsepo, I think Mankaling Howard Tsepo, it's a very, very strong Bafana Bafana squad, this. Very strong in every single department. You can almost say there's a key player in every single department. And I want to give a shout out to Shield for that. A strong squad we've got in Bafana. Tsepo, it's a good place to be, man, to know that we're going with almost a contender to this AFCON.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very strong Bafana team. Strong in a sense of when you look at the guys in the field and never said Benchini, and we still have guys that in the last game, they're on a part of that squad. People are still questioning, can we have a Lorch? Can we have a Rele? So it shows how strong we are, as a country. And it also put pressure on the guys. You must remember the last one we finished, came back with a bronze, finished third. So now everyone is aware of this Bafana team. This Bafana team has qualified also for the World Cup. So now it's a case of, we are no more hunting. We'll be hunted going into this AFCON tournament. So the boys need to double their efforts, but we trust the boys. We have believed in the boys and we support the boys.
Nice for Tsepo to say Bafana going to a tournament as the hunted, Mark. As the hunted, which means our chances of winning this title are quite high. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we are in a good position. I think, as Tsepo has mentioned, especially when it comes to the quality of players that the coach have called in previous games as well. I think also what is also nice that we see is the balance between the younger players and the more experienced players. Players that are coming from the previous AFCON and coming into this AFCON as well. I think it's going to be very, very important for us. But also, I think Coach Broos has the right headache where it's not injuries, it's not suspension, but he has a full squad and, a lot of players that have put up their hand, wanting to be in this Bafana team. And hopefully that we will do the right thing in the selection as well, going with a team that will compete. Of course, now I think the last AFCON, we didn't have so much pressure, but now because we came out in the semi-final, third place, now people are expecting more from us. People are saying that anything less than semi-final, I think it will be a fail, so the pressure is there, but pressure is a privilege, and I think it's pressure that we need to enjoy and feel pride and to be in this particular position, to be favorites for the AFCON as well, and it also puts pressure to work and pressure to do the right things as well, and we support the players, we support the coach. Hopefully, they're gonna make us happy this time.
There are some players we don't have to need to discuss, Tsepo. Williams, Mutau, Mukwena, Apolis, Nkotha, um, Bogazi. There's some players we don't even need to discuss. Is there a name I'm missing maybe?
Maybe Mudiba, Mudiba has been part of this team from,
Yeah, for
even
sure.
the last AFCON. It's not someone that you can easily drop right now at this stage. Because, all right, the boy Kabine did well in the last game, but we all know it goes to a point, which can this guy perform in this stage, in this tournament. So when you look at Abu Mudiba, they lucky with the Sundowns always competes in Africa, in the Champions League in Africa. So they have the experience. So it's tough to say, no, let me get a new guy for it's not a time to experiment or to try. You go with your tried and tested. So hence I want to throw in a Mudiba there. He's always been there, man. I know sometimes people question if he's a defender or can he defend. But listen, man, the boy, whenever he's called upon, he plays his heart out. So I'm gonna throw in that name. Nkota, I like Nkota, I like the boy, but Nkota, like, he hasn't reached 10 games for Bafana. So we have to be careful how we manage, the excitement, the hype. You know, to be honest, he hasn't played. I'm not sure, but I don't think he's reached 10 games yet. And it's nice to see youngsters being given a chance and taking that chance. But yeah, Baba Mina, I'm lucky enough. I've played like 3 AFCON season. I went there as a young boy. I played AFCON here at home. That tournament is tough, Baba. It's not a child's play. That tournament is tough.
Well, we have to decide who's gonna play number 10. Bruce says he's got 75 to 80% of his squad. Mark, who's gonna play that number 10 role?
I think also maybe to extend from Tsepo, coming from the previous AFCON, and if you look at the experience of that team, the level of competition of that team. We had about Tulu, we had about Maseko, we had about Mvala that have played Champions League, that have played Bafana Bafana before. This also could have been maybe something that influenced where we finished, reaching the semi-final as well. I think this is very important what Tutsepo is bringing up. And of course, we're not saying that Abongota and Rele and Bogazi are not supposed to be there, but we need to also understand and also manage the expectation of these young players. They have never been in this situation where they have to carry the country. This is different from club football, so we have to be careful also with our praises, with what we say to them and how we manage them as well, because going into the AFCON now, coming from the success of reaching the semi-final, coming third in the tournament as well, coming into this tournament, we are not coming with the same hype and the same expectation. Now the expectation is higher. Can they handle this expectation? Can they handle this pressure as well? So it's also important for the coach also to think about that and his technical team and even fellow South Africans to understand that fact. You know what I mean? Coming into the number 10 role, it's quite maybe difficult, because Umshishi has been there. Also, what I've seen also with the coach Bruce, he's using a different type of a number 10 who is more like an 8 kind of number 10. He's not really your out and out number 10 who breaks the line, who plays higher up in the half spaces, who is more influential, breaking the line, playing in the last line as well. He plays someone, because Umshishi played most of that role. Now Mbule is playing that role in the past 2-3 games as well. And Mbule is not the player that breaks line, is not the player that attacks the last line as well. So he has a different way. And for me also, where I'm sitting, a player like Lorch could be maybe another option for me, because of where he is, starting from the Club World Cup. You have seen how he has performed, what he has done for Wydad, coming from not playing at Sundowns, going to Wydad and playing in this level that he's playing at, and also the continuation, how he has also, sometimes it also comes with age, it comes with maturity, it comes with experience. Where he is now, I think he's at maybe a peak form, and I think it's a player, even a personality that we can use also for Nkota, for Rele, for Shabalala to people that they look up to, someone that also can share the responsibility within the team. I'm not sure about the availability of Umshishi going into the World Cup, going into the AFCON, but it would be nice to have Umshishi there. Even if sometimes he's not 100% fit to play, but his personality and his spirit and his leadership in that team, could be something that these younger players can use.
So, Machita, now we have a problem of the undecided players who are good enough. This is not about them not being good enough, Buffett. Let's first make that declaration. We're not discussing them as not good enough for Bafana. These players are good enough, and they've been there. Some of them are in and out of the squad. I'm going to start with Ngezana. I know there was a suspension situation, but guys have come in. CBC played so well and impressed, giving Bruce something to think about. There's enough players giving Bruce something to think about. Tsepo, how does he decide on Ngezana?
Obviously, then when I think, in my opinion, when you decide your squad and your center backs, you look at firstly you can't go with maybe 4 inexperienced guys. So you want to get the right balance, Also, depending on how you play, some coaches they prefer to have a right and a left footer center backs, because of the build up of blah blah blah. But I believe Ngezan will go, because of the level of if he la corner. I think it gives him that slight advantage. I'm not saying their league or whatever, but if you look at the competition is involved in, he's won the league there, I think twice now, and he's been shot of the squad before, and what he brings. So it's gonna be it's easy for a coach to say today I can go with Morena versus Moreni because I know in this situation because he's been exposed and I've seen him, firsthand with my eyes playing in the AFCON. Morena. Okay, Moreni is the amazing young boy, he's doing well, he's scoring goals, but there's other factors that contribute to a coach making his final the decision or final squad. So I think Ngezani, if you look at CBC Podlela, is also the soldier of the coach, and then you have a young Bogazi on the other side. It gives that balance, if this one is injured, this one is suspended, who because you don't just take a player to say, he's gonna be outside for the from start to finish. A lot can happen in a tournament. In 2 games you might find yourself with a suspension and an injury. So you look at your bench, you want to see, okay, to have the balance again, to keep the team going in the center back space. Do I have Ngezana? Do I have SBC? And then who else do I bring? The money is there. Maybe it can make the team or the other 4th center back. But in my opinion, I think Ngezana goes. I think it should be there.
Rele is working his way back to fitness. And Mark, the players that have been playing have really, really impressed when they came in. So Rele has got a problem in that, does he walk back into this team? A lot of people will say, surely he goes from what we've seen before the injury.
Of course, Rele is a talented player. We don't doubt his talent or maybe his contribution. But also, you must also remember that Rele, also as much as he's been with the national team for quite longer than maybe most of the younger players, but he doesn't have a lot of caps with him. He was not a key part of that team where, like, if Umshishi is not playing, you can see Umshishi is not there. If Mokoena is not there, you can see that Mokoena is not there. But when Rele is not there, the wheel continues to roll. So, is he gonna come in and be a key player in that team? Is he gonna come in and change things and make us better and make us play better? I don't know. Of course, he has the talent, he has the capabilities to do so. He has not played so much. Also, this season, he has not played at the right level. Pirates didn't qualify for the Champions League. So there's a lot of things that are happening with him. There was a lot of things that were also said with him before the season started, going to Europe, going to Saudi, him staying, him going, So there's a lot of things that are happening in his career as well. Now with the injury, now coming back, to a Bafana that is doing well and to a Pirates that has started to play well also in the PSL. There's a lot for a young player also and now if we want him to take a key role in the Bafana squad, I don't know if he can handle it in that way. But of course, as part of the team, as part of a talented young player and a future Bafana player, of course, you can have him in the team as well. But I don't know if he's going to play a key role, a role that maybe Mokoena, a Mshishi was playing or is playing.
You raised concern about goal scoring, Tsepana. You said we want those who double net. You want someone who's just gonna make sure in that box, and we don't have that at the moment. But Rayners hasn't been getting an opportunity, and Siyamazi ukuthi double net. He's got the speed, the aggression to do it. Obviously, he hasn't been getting the opportunities. Is he going? Should we be hoping that Rayners will be part of the mix?
I think he's going, you know. But again, with the last couple of games that they're gonna play, some of the guys that were injured, you know, and they've recovered. The last 3 games before the final on day king, saying that, you know, Rele, we've never since Rele broke into Pirates, he has never had like a spell where he's out injured. So some players, when they come back from injuries, you know, they take longer to get back to the rhythm, to the tune, you know. So those things they factor. But luckily there's still a couple of games to go. You know, so the coach also, I'm sure, he will be monitoring those players that Bafana injuries and what. But the Rayners, you know, when I look at our attack, we have Lie, you know, he's done decent, he's been there. You know, we have a Mahopa, but in when you profile all those strikers, the one that I believe is a goal machine, is a goal scorer, you know, is a natural finisher. It would be Rayners, in my opinion. You know, so you want to have someone like that in your team. And yeah, you know, to win a tournament, you need a striker in form on form. Like, you know, you need a striker to score goals. But again, you know, when you attack, how you set up your attack and your set piece, you need goals from your set plays. You know, they give you that slight advantage.
And now the curious case of Mshishi Bafet. Does Bruce take him along? Does Bruce leave him behind? Mark, you mentioned Mshishi and Lorch in this mix as an option in case Mbule gets injured, especially as a backup to Mbule, because it looks like Bruce has made a decision on what type of turn he's going to have. Do we take Mshishi along to this AFCON?
Me, I would, for many reasons, and not even about playing and his contribution inside the field, but his contribution outside the field. I remember when they played, I think it was in Bombela when he was there, and how these players embraced him after the game. You can also see his influence in the team. You can also see his leadership in the team as well. And a 50% Shishi, you know, would do more than inside the field contribution as well. And it will be nice, you know, to have him into this team. I still advocate for Lorch as well, because it brings a different dynamic in the team. It brings something different to Mbule. Also, you must also remember that Mbule has not played 5 games consistently for Pirates, just Pirates alone, you know. So going into the AFCON, where you have to play every 3 days at a high level with top teams, top players, is he going to be able to withstand that pressure, to withstand being the main guy as the 10? You know, who's behind him if he's the first guy to play? You know, we need someone else that has the same capabilities and the same experience, you know, that will bring, I believe, the same contribution and even more. And but I will definitely vouch for Mshishi too. Even if a 50% rated Mshishi, I would vouch for him to go.
All right, let's wrap it up there, my chance. This was Talking Bafana. I was with Mayambela and Tsepo Masilela. We're discussing the fringe players, the ones who are guaranteed to go to AFCON. And what a time to be alive and be a South African football fan, a Bafana fan. This is the time to really be excited. We might come back with that trophy. Mark said we could go a step further. Tsepo also agreed and said we could go a step further than last time. This is our opportunity. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share this video. Let them know we are Talking Bafana by Soccer Beat. Let the beat do the talking. Soccer Beat, what?